Shalom, brothers and sisters. We want to give all praise and glory to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, in the name of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to you throughout the four corners of the earth that are diligently waiting on the second coming of our Lord. We're going to go and talk about a topic of discussion just to kind of edify and kind of show you some of the things that you're going to be able to inherit in the world to come if you endure until the end. Okay, because it's important for you to understand what gift is on the other side, even though it's even a lot bigger than what we can even explain in words. But we're just going to talk about some aspects of things such as spiritual power and some of the blessings, you know, for those that believe in Yahawashi.
Right. That's right. Because before you start, though, it's like, you know, this also goes against those brothers who saying that everybody gonna make it into the kingdom. Yep. Because you out here doing this work for a reason, man. It's not just for the spiritual powers, but it's for a kingdom also. But you got to put in some work for this. You know, we striving to get an award, a reward.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah. Right. This is John 1:12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Yahweh, even to them that believe on his name.
Yeah. So that's the power to become the sons of God is those that believed on him.
Right.
You know, because in fact, if you read up, because of what the brother said is right, because if you read up, it tells you that some of them, the ones that reject him, but then those that believe, so it shows you that everybody can't get this. Something like verses 10, 9 or 10.
9 and 10?
Yeah.
This is John.
His own came to him and knew him not. He came to his own knew him not, right?
He was the same bear witness of that light.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, it's John 1, well, I'm going to start at 6 verse. John 1 and 6. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become sons of God, even to them that believe on his name.
Yeah, so it says he came unto his own, and his own knew him not.
Yep.
But as many as received him, to them that he gave the power to be sons of the living power.
Yep.
So that shows you that the inheritance is not for everybody, man. Because see, what binds us all as scattered among scattered Israelites, the diaspora of Jacob, is that we are all are under the oath of the old covenant until that fades away, until the new one's established. Hence the reason why we're still under the curses. And we're still in captivity, we're still subject to payments as it is this day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay? So that makes sense that we would still have that bind together as a people, that we are suffering together under the old covenant. You know, which is where our commonality pretty much starts and ends. Because at that point, the gospel comes into play, which is the great divider and separator.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you try to make this when you have to say preaching the truth and you can't say preaching the gospel,
right?
You know, you really got to examine what it is you're saying. Because as a man say it, so you know, as a man think it's, you know, so is he.
Yeah, like the brother say, the gospel is the great divider, and see that comes into play when people come in and try to say that the whole Bible is the gospel. You can't just make a statement like that, because it is the divider, man. They didn't have to believe on the Savior in the past like we do right now.
Correct.
Yahawashi is that way, man. He is that main dividing factor right there.
That's right. Yeah, that's where the eternal life is in Yahawashi.
Yeah.
Because see, at the end of the day, you can't try and skip around and get around it like, oh, I got the covenant according to the flesh, so therefore I got this inheritance coming. See, the way the Most High said this inheritance, he's like, if you're not a good child, you're not getting the inheritance.
Right.
You know, when people, when see, Yahawashi was the testator of the new covenant, of the promises of the new covenant. He had to inherit it first as the first fruit, and as the first born of many brethren, and he's the one and only begotten of the Father. So he inherited it first, and then everybody else after him that believes in him inherits their portion. So the way it is in a will and testament, you have to have a testator in it that when that person passes, then the blessing goes over to those after him that are on that will.
Yeah,
now, a will is a document that has the names of the people on it.
Right.
Now that will, for us, which we don't have access to, is called the Book of Life.
Yeah, right.
So if you're written in the Book of Life, you are part of that will and are in line to receive the inheritance.
That's right. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful right there.
Let me read this scripture
Go ahead,
right here. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 25. And every man, no, I'm going to go to 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize?
Yeah.
So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now, they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown.
Come on, bro.
I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so I fight, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep it under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Now Paul's saying, we out here putting in this work because we trying to receive an uncorruptible crown. So how can those that ain't doing no work receive an uncorruptible crown?
And what the brother's talking about work, he's talking about works of righteousness.
That's right.
And being in the faith, because not coming just because you don't come on the block doesn't mean
right.
We know for certain from our conversation, we know that we were chosen to, at the bare minimum, preach the gospel. We know that for certain.
Right.
But other brothers or sisters, well, sisters you can't preach, but other brothers, it might not be your portion to do that. You will know for certain. I talked to a brother. I said, listen, you'll know if you're supposed to be doing at least some lessons on the internet or being maybe teaching with other brothers.
It's kind of like the Most High puts that on you, man. It's kind of like an unctioning to do that, like, you know, and you have a desire to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he puts it on you to be desirous to pull out some information to edify the people. And then it brings you joy when people like, man, And then it's like, man, look, you know what the Most High is bringing forth, man. It ain't for me. We ain't doing it for vain glory. We're doing it for the upliftment and edification of the body of Yahawashi.
That's right.
And I like what the brother brought out in that 1 Corinthians to obtain. We do this not to obtain a corruptible crown, but an incorruptible crown. This is Revelations 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown, man.
That's right.
So, you know, just like the brother saying, that righteousness, those things that the Most High has blessed you to partake of. You know, you don't want nobody to come in here with a off doctrine to bring you into subjection into some other man's quasi doctrine. You know what I mean? You know. And
really, a lot of times they're trying to gain a carnal vainglory on this side from that particular person.
And that's one thing, man, you don't even want to, man, look what we in right now, bro. You don't want no type of glory on this side, bro.
For real, man.
Man, I'd be like, man, I don't even want my name to be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, hey, let me get it on the other side. I don't need nothing over here, man.
Yeah, because that's who's going to be justified, man. The fame is going to be upon the elect in that time. You don't got to try and strive for it now, man. That's why you got a lot of Jake beefing over fame, man. Especially when they get into that arena of entertainment.
Right.
Guys be jockeying. They be jockeying a lot of times. The man and the woman. It's like you got Cardi B and Nicki Minaj going at each other. You know, it's all because of the perception that they'll lose fame, and the other one's gonna gain it.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with no personal issues.
Right.
And that's called what do you call it? It's actually called heresies. In the what's it called, but when you go into the word, it means, well, division. Division. Well, when you go into the word for heresy, the works of the flesh, which is sectarianism. You know, sectarianism really, in a carnal way, had nothing to do with separation for the sake of the gospel. It has everything to do with us against them on some carnal stuff. And then that's where you get people having these high levels of loyalty towards a man, you know, and basically will swear their own salvation away for that man. Take oaths. You know, it's like you got guys taking oaths in the name of the Lord. That certain men with King David, certain men with John the Revelator. These guys just taking oaths, bro.
Right.
So they gotta hold to that, man. Before Israel, you take an oath that, you know, the Most High, you confound these men that you'll denounce the Lord. You gotta hold to that oath, man.
Yeah.
That's in the book of that's like in the book of Numbers.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? It says, so, you know, swear not yourself and don't make an oath and not pay.
And then most of these guys are making oaths on camera in front of all Israel. And then it's being revealed, bro.
Yeah. And for what? The man that you made the oath for, he can't give you the incorruptible crown like the brother was reading.
That's right.
In fact, you can get that in Ezra too. You have some more out?
No.
Second Ezra chapter 2. Let's see if I think I might be able to get it.
All right.
We'll see who's going to be crowned since we're on that topic.
Yeah.
So we can get to the other stuff because this is how you're going to get this. Now, there's on both sides. Most sides going to give certain levels of spiritual lessons, which starts with the wisdom and knowledge of His Word, which is the earnest down payment. That's in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1. But then also on this side, there's going to be levels of spiritual power that will be given before the rest of it is brought down, which will come with the incorruptible bodies.
Right. That's right.
What's she saying? She was looking at us, bro.
Well, I know the brothers and stuff that just listening or whatever.
She got hat. Love is God.
Huh?
That's what our hat said.
Love is God? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 40. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord, which is law means commandment. The commandment meaning what they needed to do to get salvation. Because it tells you how you're supposed to do it in order to fulfill it. When you go into John chapter 3 and 5, it says in order to enter into the kingdom, you have to be born of the water and the Spirit.
That's right.
That's part of actually fulfilling the commandment. And enduring to the end. They fulfilled the law. It's not talking about they did all 600 laws.
That was the commandment. Yeah, that's right.
The law, when you go look into the word law when you look into the word law is used singularly, meaning law, and it's not laws. When you look at that in the Greek, it's talking about covenant, which pertains to everything pertaining to that covenant.
Promise.
So verse 41, the number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. I, Ezra, saw on Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. It's not one of your elders, man. Just in case your mind is going there. It's Yahawashi, man.
Right.
Yahawashi. So he might have been, I can't imagine, he might have been sitting there 30 feet tall.
Joker big, you're like, man, look at the Lord, man.
He's shining on you, boy. Shining, looking like.
And then
looking like Optimus Prime.
That could be another, that spiritual power we have. Like
you said, we gotta bring that out. That's in there.
Hey, yeah, right, man.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know. You can't. That's the one I'm talking about, but I can't remember what scripture it is.
No, it's in the Beta 2s because it's in the Beta 2. Take no thought for yourself. You can add 1 cubit at least.
Because you can't. He was talking about you can't add one cubit to that. Because see, that kind of links into that.
Cubit. C-U-B-I-T.
Yeah, because thou cannot add 1 cubit unto thy height. He goes into
he said that's a low-level spiritual power.
Exactly.
Because when you go into the Apocalypse from X-Men, if you read about it,
man,
in fact, I'm about to do a part 2 of that Joker.
Man, because
you saw the lesson about
that was the Carter culture.
The caricature,
yeah. Because
Matthew 6. When the fowls of the air, and then he gets into you can't add one.
That's it.
Matthew 6 and 26 and 27.
Yeah, because that piece on Apocalypse is heavy, man. If y'all ever get a chance, check that out, man. It was real tight. Because man, he was like the head mutant, and he gave power to increase their power.
Right.
Bro, it was crazy. If you read it, if you just go into Wikipedia, just read his powers. That stuff is exactly the same as Yahawashi. He's the first of all mutants. He's the first and the last. He can increase every mutant's power because he's the original mutant. meaning he's the first of many brethren. He's the original.
Man.
And his blood can heal all mutants.
Right.
Ain't that cold, man? Ain't that cold? That's cold right there, bro.
So Esau, when he makes these things, he be basing it on the Bible. He be basing those comic characters, all them villains, a lot of them super villains, as they're called in comics. They're all based on Yahawashi.
Yeah, but they reversing it. So they putting it into a bad light, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Yahawashi being
Yahawashi would leave one city and go to the other. He would walk right through the midst of people, man.
Right, man.
We seen Nathaniel sitting under the fig tree before he even met him.
Come on, man.
You know, it's just different type of stuff, but nobody pay that no mind.
Yeah.
When they reading them scriptures.
And when he talking to his disciples, he said, "Sir, art thou not a stranger in Israel? Have thou not heard of Yahweh?" He can change his looks, man.
Yeah, he can camouflage himself.
Right.
Hey,
He's sitting there talking to him after his death.
And then they found out, it's the, you know, it's like, man, this is some serious power right here.
So in what's that, Corinthians 15, it says that we shall, our body shall be changed.
And we shall be
in
like
the twinkle of an eye, and we shall be like the Lord.
Oh man, that's good. Man, we gonna get. Let me finish this.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is going on. We'll start at verse 43 again. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. Upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So like the brother said, he set crowns. It wasn't no man, regular man that set crowns. It was Yahawashi, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right, man.
Yep.
You know, and this is segue right into it. Where you at?
No, I was just going to give an example. Go ahead and hit that.
Okay. Because this will go right into the what's it called, but you don't need to, you can get it later. So, verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and have put on the immortal. And have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned and receive palms. When he says, Then said I unto the angel, What young person is that which crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? And he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so sickly for the name of the Lord.
Ooh, that name is important, bro. You can't do it in no Christ, no Jesus, no Ahia, no Yeshaya, no whatever, Yeshua, no Yahshua, no Yahweh. You know, it's none of that, man. Man, you see how devious Esau is, man, by throwing Jesus, ain't no Jesus.
Man, there's so many more. If you go into a lot of the even
Freya. If you go into
if you go into German, you start going to the Dutch. They
got all these names.
Bro, they got so many different names. Russian. Oh, man, you guys would be completely like, come on, man.
Man, you'd be like, man, look at this. Look at this, man. Hey, man, this has to be a spiritual thing, man, for you to get that name, bro.
For real.
You cannot be a carnal man and not have that name, man.
That's true.
And if you are a carnal man and got that name, I guarantee you won't last that long, man.
For real.
You gonna start, you know, swaying into other areas or whatever. But man, that's powerful, man.
And they said they confessed them. It says that they have confessed the name and the Father and the Son.
Right. Yeah. Read that part again.
That's heavy.
Yeah, because now
that's in Revelation.
That's in Revelation too, and not in all versions either, because most of them would just have the Son's name.
Yeah, you got to go into the Latin Vulgate
just to get to see both of them. Yeah, that's right. That's man.
This is verse 45. He answered and said unto me, But these are they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then when you go down to verse 47, so he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh whom they confess in the world.
Look at that. You got to have both, man. You got to have both.
And really, like Yahawashi said, if you have the Father, you have the Son.
If you have the Father, if you have the Father,
if you believe in the name Yahawashi, you have to believe in Yahweh. It makes sense to
that's right.
That's
you don't have both. It's like a combination. Because you say Yahawashi, you say in the Father's name with it too. Because his name is in him.
That's right.
That's right.
My name is in him.
Come on, man. Hey, that was one of the arguments, you know. We was trying to relate to the brother at one point, man. He's like, hey, man.
Ahia and Ahia Shai.
Come on. You can't do it.
Because you can't get Yahweh and
same characters, bro.
You can't get it. You can't get it in there, man.
That brother had me just like, man, my head hurt.
Hey, man, that piece right there, man. Hey, that's one of those things you just let time, you know. Hey, hopefully the Most High have mercy and open up the doors, because you know.
But I understand the confusion, because if you've been taught that for so long,
you know
what I'm saying? Because it's just like the name Jesus.
What?
A lot of people, the reason why IUIC, part of the reason why they had to probably stick with Christ and Jesus, or you know, or even say you could say Christ Jesus, because a lot of women came in that really wasn't the budge on that, bro. And they didn't want them the greenbacks to go away.
Which is why they got so many followers, bro. Because if you have that name like that, man, you know, it's like, oh, I remember this. I can take that. As long as I can keep my Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So
got one.
The name is so entrenched and washed into their mind, it's seared into the mind of many people. That's so if you can help them keep it and transition into that Israelite thing, they'll take it.
Even though them dudes do know that the name is Yahawashi. Because they've said it many times.
On their lessons.
Yeah, they said it in their lessons, man. So why not edify the flock by bringing out the right name, man?
That's right, man. I got a little short precept what you just read. This is James 1 and 13. No, 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endured temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to them that love him. You know, that crown of life, just keeping of the commandments. If you love me, you shall keep my commandments.
So if you don't believe in him, according to much doctrine in Israel, you'll just come back on the other side, and receive it anyway,
and still get the crown of life. Come on, receive immortality.
Can't do that. Man, that don't make sense.
So we're gonna have to go to what happens with those that didn't believe.
Right.
Stay tuned,
because it's a way you gotta operate in this thing, man. Like when Yahawashi was on the planet, he said he does always those things that please the Most High.
We're preaching the gospel. You want to listen? Come down here.
Okay.
We just preaching the gospel. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
they're probably single looking for men.
Yeah, that's all about.
That's what that is.
But yeah, man, the whole thing is he said that I do all those things that please the Most High. Now
she said Israel, you heard her?
Yeah. She probably
she seen the videos.
Yeah, she up there trying to play it off and everything. Talking about what y'all doing.
I don't know if her friend. I can't tell what her friend is though. Here, I don't know if she's Vietnamese.
She look Mexican.
Or Mexican, yeah, she looked Mexican.
Yeah, she did. She got another partner on the other side.
Oh, sure, I didn't peep him.
Nah, it's a sister.
Oh, okay. In the green?
In the black, right on the other side.
On the other side, okay.
Yeah, that's all that was.
I can't see it from the same shit.
Yeah, that's all that was. But yeah, back to Yahawashi, he said he does always those things that please the Most High, and you know, one of those main aspects is faith. Right. What we find is that faith is lacking big time in Israel, man.
Yep.
And also, is other aspects of it too. I believe you got Sirach 1 and 27. See what? Yeah, because there's another aspect that the Most High delights in. It also added in with that faith aspect, and you know, and that's another thing that, you know, we as brothers always, you know, we always have to operate in, and because these are the things that delight with the Most High.
This is Sirach chapter 1 and verse 27. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight.
Faith and meekness, and
which is humility.
Which is humility. So when you go into that humility, when you look it up in the Webster's Dictionary, 1826, it goes in someone who is not easily provoked or irritated. It goes into humble. It goes into gentle, kindness, and things of that nature. So even with Yahawashi, he said when he got on the coat, it said, "Thy king come with meekness." I think it's in Matthew. I can't remember. I think Matthew 4. I think. When it talks about Yahawashi coming up on the coat, what is that? I can't remember what verse that is. But it said he comes meek, riding on a coat.
That's towards the end of the gospel.
Yeah. So when he came like that, man, you know, meekness and faith, those are delights of the Most High.
That's right.
Look at Moses. Look at the power that Moses exuded, splitting the Red Sea, It said he was the meekest man on the earth.
Yeah, I was actually looking for that.
Yeah, yeah. So in Numbers, it has that. Yeah. So you know, these are aspects of obtaining that spiritual power. You got to, you know, you got to exude these types of behaviors for the Most High, because He ain't gonna give it to a fool. If we out here cursing everybody out every time if they don't believe in this and go in a certain kind of way, Most High ain't gonna import no power on an individual like that.
That's one of the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians.
Yeah, that's the fruit, and that's exactly what it is. It's operating in the fruits of the Spirit, man. And so if you, because I know there's groups out there that always talk about obtaining spiritual power, but you have to look at the other side of it. Yeah, you have the commandments, but look at how you have to treat other people. Because see, the way that you treat other people will determine how the Most High, is this person worthy of this?
That's why He say the kingdom is in you.
The kingdom is in you.
It's about how you treat people and how you act towards others, man. Love your brother the way you would love yourself.
Hey, man, come on, man. Come on, man.
But it ain't talking about your enemies. When they say that, it ain't talking about the other nations.
Yeah. Because see, people were amazed during the time to see that type of power being exuded during the time of Yahawashi. I'm going to bring this out. This is Matthew 9, and this was when Yahawashi made a statement saying he's forgiven a person's sins, and then it goes on and it says, and behold, certain of the scribes within themselves said within themselves, this man blaspheming. And Yahawashi knowing their thoughts and said, wherefore ye think evil in your hearts? For whether it's easier to say thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say arise and walk. But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. Then said he to the sick of palsy, arise, take up thy bed, and go unto thine house. And he arose and departed to his house. But when the multitude saw it, they marveled and glorified Yahweh, which had given such power unto men. Come on, man. That's power, bro. You want to have that power, man? You got to have a certain type of mentality for the Most High to bless you with that power, man. Yeah, yeah.
Because you got people that want to get spiritual power. Listen, there's certain guys that want to get spiritual power just so they can put certain guys that hate to death.
To death, man. Man, the Most High is not going to impart that type of power upon a person who already has that hate in his heart.
Yeah.
To go ahead and take somebody out, because truth be told, man, a person can be going off on this day, and then the Most High have mercy on him and bring him out of it the next day.
Yeah.
So you can't cast judgment. That's kind of like going through masters and servants type thing. Who are thou to cast judgment upon another man's servant?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yahawashi had to warn James and John.
Yeah.
So they wanted fire to come down from heaven. And
talking about
he said, you must not know what manner of spirit you're of.
Right.
The Son of Man came not to destroy men's lives, but
to
save them.
That's right.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You know?
That's where it's at, bro.
You know?
That's where it's at, man.
That's not the time. When you go into the Ecclesiastes, there's a time and place for everything.
Yep.
And so when the time comes, it'll be time to do it.
Right.
When you go into Psalm 149, it says about punishments on the people.
Punishments on the people.
The people is talking about those that rebelled.
Yep.
So yeah, men with spiritual power, and the time comes, they might be putting some people to death of Israel.
Yep. Because see, what did it say? The saints shall judge the. How does it go in the scripture?
The saints shall judge the earth for judgment.
I can't remember how that
Ezekiel 9.
It talks about the saints judging something like that.
The saints shall judge the world.
Yeah, and
is that in the New Testament?
Yeah, that world is cosmos, huh?
Ain't that? It might be cosmos. It's in Corinthians.
Yeah, that's in Corinthians.
About judging the small matter. Why would you go drive your brother unto the law?
Might be too.
There might be Corinthians.
Might be, yeah, because he said the saints shall judge the world, but I wasn't sure if that was.
Don't you know that saints
shall judge the world? Yeah.
The world, let's see if it's talking about cosmos. Well, remember when Yahawashi told the disciples that ye 12 should be sitting on 12 tribes, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Yeah. That's right.
Which they have, their pillars. The apostles are pillars of the building, or part of that foundation. Say apostles. That's part of the foundation. She's cornerstone Yahawashi. So, meaning that they'll have a level of preeminence and authority, but they're not going to be Because if you go into when the Lord comes back, he's going to raise up an army.
Yeah.
That will go forth to battle.
Man, that's why it's so imperative, man, when you going into that into these scriptures, once you are proselytized, so to speak, and brought into the commandments, you're going into the fruits of the spirits, and really tackling, touching this gospel, man, because it shows you what type of manner you have to be a disciple of Yahawashi.
Yep.
You know, because we can easily go into our own thoughts and then fall short and be, you know, not in that number. So it's a behavior that he's looking at too. Okay, I see that you doing the commandments, but see, you missing this aspect. Right, now, when you go into the law, that aspect in there, it says treating your neighbor as you would have, you know, have him treat you type of piece. That's talking about behavior.
Yeah.
How would you want somebody to treat you, man?
Yeah, and everybody is different. Like this, for example, if you read the book of James, you know James is very, when you read the book of James, James is strict.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you be like, you can tell he's hardcore. He's very like
straightforward.
He's very like, boom, he's giving you black and white. What do you want? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So James himself, he would want somebody to treat him like that.
Yeah, right.
Essentially.
And what's the difference in that?
But guess what? He's still following the rules.
The rules.
He's within that boundary line.
And what it shows you is the variety too. It shows you the variety inside of Yahawashi.
That's right.
See, so now you have options.
Correct.
So
you
now
have options in how you can treat. So you can be super merciful to other brothers. So that way the Most High can be merciful to you.
Right.
He can give you that measuring stick.
Yeah.
So to what measure you meet.
That's how you're gonna be measured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the measure you meet. So if you want to be more merciful and say, listen, man, let me be more merciful. That's why we didn't do all that which death upon guys.
Yeah.
See, them guys, they can't take that.
That's going to actually come from the Spirit anyway. It wasn't going to allow us to do that anyway.
Nah.
Exactly. You see, other people, they can say which death upon whatever. And the crazy thing about it, if you turn around and did that to them, man, them guys will complain.
Yeah.
Will say, oh, these guys want us dead. These guys is wishing death upon. They're going to pull up the videos.
Right.
They're going to put the timestamp. They're like, these guys wishing death upon us just because we're telling them the truth. Because we're telling them that they gotta worship our elders, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do. But then it's like, wait, hold on, you would just threaten every guy from freaking every camp to camps, guys that was teaching with you, guys that don't teach with you, guys in different camps that never taught with you.
Right.
Guys that never even uttered y'all's names and taught something else. The first thing y'all want to do is wish death upon them. So guess what? Most sides like, okay, if you mess up, that just come to you.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's
how he's gonna do. He's gonna bring that same energy you brought to other people. You brought that hate. You wish death upon them. Okay. Well, guess what? If you don't make it, I'm gonna bring that tidal wave on.
Yep.
I bring that tsunami of that overflowing scourge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man.
Because you wanted it on other men and therefore other people.
So that judgment comes upon you, man. That's why it's always important, man, you know, to be careful of what you're saying about another person, man.
That's right.
And you know, whatever kind of judgments, man, ask for repentance on you. Repent for that stuff, man. So that stuff, you know, cast that stuff away, because dude, you don't want it to be hard on you at the end. I'm guarantee you.
Yeah, you want as much mercy as you can get.
Yeah. Cause
as much mercy as you can get in this thing. So
that's right. Yeah, because that's what is that? Zephaniah. Look, watch this. That's in Zephaniah 2. Zephaniah 2. Let's look at. Watch this. This is Zephaniah 2, and going right back into the meek. Look at this. Zephaniah 2 and 2. I'll start from the top. Gather yourselves together, ye gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass of the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth.
Right.
All ye meek. So that's humility right there, man.
Right. That's right. All ye meek of the earth. Now, when you go into the Sermon on the Mount, it says the meek shall inherit the earth.
I was about to. Hey, that's man, that's on the spirit right there. Because I was gonna bring. As soon as I thought about that, I was going it out. It says, "Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought His judgments. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger."
Oh,
come on, man.
Come on, I got
Revelations. What you got?
Now you gotta get that Revelations.
Yeah,
I know what you want.
Go ahead. Let me read this one right
Go
quick.
ahead, read
It's
that
short.
real quick.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 17. Humble thy soul greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worm.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. That's to be continued.
What was that?
What's
Judah?
that?
The Ecclesiasticus 6.
Because this one in Judah too.
You gotta remember that one.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
That's gonna be to be continued.
Because it's one in Judah too. The book of Judah, she's like, all nations that come against me, their judgment shall be fire and worms forever.
Come on.
No, but here's to go into with that last one I brought out in Zephaniah. This is Revelations 3, and I'm gonna start at shoot.
Is it a particular church? Or
It's talking about Philadelphia. But I'm trying to find that. Dang.
2. Revelation 2.
No, I think it was. I thought it was 3.
Because I think they kind of go from.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be 3.
Yeah.
That's 2. It goes into. You got to go after 9.
Behold. Oh yeah. That's it. It's on 9. So this is talking about the Church of Philadelphia. So now remember in Zephaniah.
3 and 9.
Yeah.
It's after 9. Isn't it?
Yeah. It's
after 9.
It's after 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that Zephaniah 2 and 3 talks about that meekness and you being hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So now when you go to Revelations 3 and 10, it says, because, now this is talking about the Church of Philadelphia, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now when you go to Zephaniah, he's telling you, all ye meek of the earth, seek meekness. So you got to be humble in this thing, and then he says that you may be hid from the Lord's anger. So now when you go to that Revelations 3 and 10, it's talking about that same thing, man. Kept the word of my patience, showing the faith, showing the meekness. Come on, man. That you may be hid from that hour of temptation to come upon the whole world, man.
Oh, we got one. This is Psalms 69 and verse 13. But as for me, my prayer is unto Yahweh, unto Yahweh, in an acceptable time, O God, in the multitude of thy mercy. Hear me in the truth of thy salvation. Deliver me out of the mire and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from them that hate me and out of the deep waters. Let not the water flood overflow me, neither let the deep shallows swallow me up. And let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. Hear me, O Lord, O Yahweh, for thy loving kindness is good. Turn unto me according to thy multitude of thy tender mercies.
Yeah, there you go.
And hide not thy face from thy servant, for I am in trouble, and hear me speedily. Draw nigh unto my soul and redeem it. Deliver me because of mine enemies.
Right.
So it's talking about mercy again.
Yep, there you go.
And this is for, he says, for the truth of thy salvation.
Yep.
Yes, you know.
And this is just to bring out what the brother was saying earlier, that Matthew 5 and 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So what is that inheritance? That's your inheritance right there, man.
Right, man.
You will obtain this planet, man. This earth is yours, man. The Most High is going to bless you with that. But you have to show certain characteristics that are delightsome to the Most High.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
You know, characteristics is the fruit of the spirit, man. That's basically what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, because that meekness goes back to the word, goes back to humility.
Yep.
And the word humble, actually, the root word of humble actually goes back to the ground.
Yeah.
Because man was made out of the ground, and he was molded from the ground up. So when one is humble, he's able to be molded.
Right.
Because he's like clay.
Yep.
He's able to be built back up and molded. See, Esau understands that on the left-hand side, and he does that with negative projection and putting what you call self-fulfilling prophecies upon our people. So telling young boys that they're going to be gang members from when they're young, and putting it inside their mind at a very young age. Right. You know? So when you're at a meek level, the Most High can use you and mold you into something higher than what you're supposed to be, which is what happened with Moses.
Right. You know? Right.
Moses was humbled himself to the lowest point. He let go of all his stuff. He rejected the pleasures of this world. Yeah. And humbled himself to basically be made lowly, and was able to be used by Yahweh.
And then he was lifted on high, man. Because see, even in the Old Testament, it said that he was crowned king in Jeshurun.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So he exalted Moses to a status that was so great. Even in the midst of him passing, man, they mourned his death for like a long period of time to the point where the Most High had to come in and be like, hey man, y'all gonna have to chill out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You know, I done gave y'all 30 days to mourn. Hey, come on, let's move on. Let's move on. You know, so you know that man had a special place in his heart because they didn't see the things that the Most High that was wrought by the Most High by his hand. Yeah. He said, "What is in thy hand?" He used that staff, did many of those miracles. Right. You know.
And then the higher level of humility, which Moses was a similitude of Yahawashi.
Right.
And Yahawashi let go of all the glory in heaven to come down to be made like unto man. Yeah. And according to the law, man, meaning that he came from the seed of man.
Right. Right.
Okay. There's no virgin birth. There's no what's it called, the virgin birth. That stuff is Catholic doctrine. Yeah. Okay. He was born under the law. By the seed of man, the seed of David, who came out of a woman. Okay, and he was humbled himself to that level in order to go through the same temptations and endure affliction for the sake of the elect.
That's
all the way to the cross, and even unto his resurrection.
And that's a heavy piece, man, because when you think about when he went through the test with Satan and went through that 40 days of fasting. Then to be tempted and promise the whole world in that sense, man, when you think on a carnal level, man, how many Jakes will be able to get away from that, man? The whole planet being yours at that, you know, and he was in the fasting makes you weak.
Jake already in Psalms saying the world is mine.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So
he was out there with that the world is mine, you get that. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's how Jake is right now.
And that's the greatest form of temptation there is, man. It's to promise somebody the whole world, is to promise him, let's just say on a carnal level, you want women in the world. If the world is yours, you can have the women. You can have the money. You can have all that stuff, man.
You can make vengeance on your enemies immediately.
Immediately.
Because he wanted that probably immediately.
Yeah. But then he withstood that. So therefore, he understands our plight on this plane. He understands it because he went through it, man. He had to go through those same things we have to go through today, man. Understanding it, therefore that mercy is that much more greater for us, man. You know? But here's one. This is concerning Paul. It said, this is Ephesians 4:1. It says, I therefore, the prisoner of Yahawashi, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye were called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. Come on, man. This humility is a mandatory thing to have in this walk, man. If you can't have that humility, man, hey, you ain't walking the walk. If you don't have forgiveness in your heart, you ain't walking the walk, bro. No faith, you ain't walking the walk. These are what they call it when you go to school. You have before you take this class, you have a prerequisite. This is something that you have to fulfill before you can move on, so to speak. You have to fulfill this before you can move on, because you can get them principles down, but if you don't fulfill these aspects of it, talking about the fruits of the spirit, bro, you out of there, man. You missing it, because now you can't even obtain perfection, man. And that's what we're striving for. We're striving for the perfection.
Yeah, you gotta be. That's why I use that clay analogy, man. You know, it's like good to go into words, man, because when you go back to Adam, Adam was made in a humble state from the ground, man. That's why his name is Adam, which literally, by similitude, almost means humble.
Yep.
because of the fact he came from the ground. So he was able to be given the word of the Lord. The word was in him. He had the knowledge, was some understanding. He could have everything. He came from a state of humbleness.
Right.
That's why you got something called the Pygmalion effect and the Golem effect. Man, Esau's a demon. The Golem is something that Esau. The Golem effect is a philosophy that Esau understands that you could actually mold somebody's character from a low estate and make them basically be whatever you want them to be.
Right.
And that's how they program a lot of our people into wickedness, man.
Yeah.
Now they understand that fully. See, that's the reason why when you go into the rap game, them Israelis, them gutter rats, them Amalekites, they understand the on their end the importance of that media tool, man.
Right.
That's why they didn't want it. We're not gonna we might get into it if we had time. That's one of the reasons why they didn't want Bill Cosby to have NBC. Because they own mass media. They don't want you to put positive images. Because they basically had the Cosby Show on there. They allowed it to be successful because for about 6 or 7 years, the Cosby Show was the #1 show on TV. This is according to Nielsen ratings.
Right. That's right.
That imagery was too strong,
too positive
for them to have that, and they didn't like that. Then they had to give them all that break. Saved NBC. NBC was going to go bankrupt, and what saved them was the Cosby Show, which was the #1 show on TV for 7 years, man.
Right.
And that also tells you that there's more Jakes than they say. Because ain't no way with all them shows that Esau had in the 80s too, that they couldn't be #1 on them years, man.
Right.
Jake was watching that stuff heavily. That was a roots ground. Listen. If you say you was born in America and you was so-called American Negro, and you didn't grow up watching Cosby,
man,
you ain't from here. Or either you didn't have TV. And listen, if you didn't have TV, you went to your friend's house to watch the Cosby Show.
Cause see, when you listen to a lot, if you talk to sisters back during that time, and you ask them about that show, man, they would always say, "I wish my family was like the Cosbys." Cause they saw the dad. The dad and the mom had a good relationship. They were successful, and then there was, the brothers and the sisters got along with each other. So now, and then when they came to the dating scene, the dad was involved, and it was just like the way a family structure should be, and that's what Jake was desiring, man. Because Jake wasn't experienced with that, man.
Yeah, because at that time, by the mid 80s, when the show came on, we already had went through the welfare state age, which was the so-called war on poverty. Lyndon B. Johnson instituted a bunch of welfare reform products, which included removing the man out of the home. In fact, there's a great documentary on Hezekiah News in the late 60s on Atlanta. And the welfare system, bro, that stuff was heavy. That stuff was going on back when Martin Luther King was alive. That stuff was already there. And if you went to certain cities like Atlanta, man, that place is already done. Atlanta was damn near through. Of course, you had them boulets that was still eating and doing well, but then you had a whole bunch of Jakes that was already gone on Section 8. You had certain neighborhoods back in the late 60s where 90% of the kids had no father in their home because of the welfare policy.
Right.
So there was already, that's why what happened with a lot of them young Jakes, that their parents were married in the early 60s and then welfare reform came and the woman siding with the devil basically went and got the welfare, kicked the man out the house. He leaves, then what happens? That young generation from the late 60s and 70s, they grow up. By the time they get into the 80s, Esau perfectly aligned them kids, them young Jake man in the 80s to jump into the crack game. He orchestrated that stuff within like a 12-year period, from 68 to 80. He was like, okay, these young boys right now, they're about 5, 6 years old, because they instituted this policy. They know that the age range of a lot of them was going to be around that time. Either they're going to be born in from 64 to 70, and that generation of kids born from 60 to 1970 became the generation of monsters in the 80s, man.
They had that mapped out for Jake, man.
They had it mapped out. That they already had it planned out that they were going to social engineer y'all into complete hooliganism.
And they did.
And that's the worst set of me, bro. That's the worst set of. That's some of the worst set of Jakes. Them dudes born from 60 to about from 1960 to about 72.
And that's a patient devil too.
Boy, that's
because how he set his agenda and he wouldn't wait years before it all unfold.
Bro, he brought in gangs. He created all them gangs right in the late 60s. right when welfare policy came in, he created Gangsters Disciples, GD, Folk, People, Folk Nation, Bloods, Crips. He created all that stuff.
That's right.
Man, that's some wicked stuff, man.
He understood he had a time frame of when he wanted to basically have that boom. The war on drugs was already planned in the 60s.
Yeah, right.
That war on drugs in the 80s, man. The 80s was insane.
Yeah, that's it. You kind of going. You start reading your history on these jokers, man. Because even that boy, what's his name? Like the Secretary of Kissinger. Man, that dude. When you look at the food program, they had mapped that sucker out all the way in '71 for famine upon in these Americas. And then you see the slow, gradual process of it. They're like, okay, all these dudes are producing goods through farming. They're making 90,000.
And Monsanto's, remember, in the Vietnam War.
And
and they rolled them right into that whole thing too.
And then to decrease the amount of food, they give subsidies. I'll pay you $250,000 for you to not farm your land, which you making only $90,000 for. What farmer's not gonna take that, man? They're gonna take that 250 racks and they're gonna stop farming that land, man. And so then when the food production goes down, they can raise up costs. You see what I'm saying? So it's all, man, like the brother say, this is a patient devil, man.
And their whole agenda is just to destroy Israel, man.
It's all about,
you know, the rest of the nations, the other heathens that get caught up in that, that's casualty of war.
That's right.
If you might get caught up, it's called the cost of doing business. It's called collateral damage.
This devil was so patient. He would wait years, man, like 20, 30 years to get everything just lined up perfect. He'll wait for for this Edomite to graduate college because they see he's excelling in something like psychology or anything. Then he'll bring him on their team. You know, he been
old Kinsey. Dr. Kinsey, the Kinsey report, the guy that basically studied pedophilia and everything, and basically was the scientist that pushed out all the current lifestyles we see today. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I ain't never.
Kinsey. Kinsey Institute. He's like the guy that deals with the sexual liberation and all the different lifestyles.
But let's say them boys will wait, man. Them boys will wait years, decades until they can get these right people in the right position. They watch these elite schools like Duke, these graduates that's finna come out of there and see what field they excelling in, and they get them on their team. You know, they building up an army to get this thing right. You know,
this is heavy. He saw, okay, if you look up social engineering takes the full level of social engineering that they want to accomplish takes 100 years.
And they put all their players, they keep getting all their players they need, you know, to help this thing go as smoothly as possible.
Now, just when the brother's talking about that, man, look at how these, like you say, social engineering takes 100 years. So you know these devils ain't gonna last that long. Look at who was that just died recently, about a couple of years ago. Rockefeller, David Rockefeller, man. Now, he was on the television talking about, we like to thank NBC, ABC, for without their help, we would have never been able to fulfill our agenda at one world order. So this dude passed and he gone. So what is he going to do? He's going to pass that legacy down to his kids so that they can pull the torch, you know, and keep it on. 100 years, just like the brother said. So they had that plan mapped out when they 20s. They be done died and his kids come up and pass the torch on.
Because when you look at the when the so-called abolition of slavery and the enactment of the 13th and 14th Amendments, that was 1864. 100 years later, they signed what's called the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Look at that, bro.
They had that on the dot. Now, one of the people that was one of the actors of the Civil War was a man by the name of Albert Pike. Albert Pike was a 33-degree Mason. Remember, George Washington was no longer around, so he understood what he needed to do in that time to start the role of social engineering of those that were free. And they had a 100-year plan. Civil rights was already mapped out. They had planned to do all these different things, and they knew that they were going to end the, what do you call it, the open lynchings of our people. That was what you call acculturation, which is basically where you brutally cause the people to integrate through fear, intimidation, withholding resources, things like that. So what happened was, by the time that last generation came in the 60s, they already put the battery in their back from the NAACP, because Amalek created the NAACP. Went and hired W.E. Du Bois, made him a fake chairman on there, and then tried to use him and guys like Marshall, Thurgood Marshall. They put those guys in as puppets and basically put them in and made them Supreme Court justices and things like that. They did all that stuff and engineered it to where they knew, hey, we're going to give them a so-called civil rights movement and integrate them into society so that way they could be completely engrossed into that New World Order mentality. Because without it, we would be still separatists. As a whole, we would still be like, oh, let me stay on my own side of town. Let me do my own thing. I don't want to go to the, you know. But they had to force a subset of Jakes to say, we want to go to their schools. Meanwhile, you had Boulay, the founders of the Boulets, they was already going to their schools. And if you look at the pictures of them Boulay, them dudes look like stone cold Edomites, bro. You seen them pictures?
Hey, man.
Them boys look like stone cold Edomites. And look at what families they came from. Families with money back in the 1860s. Come on, man. No Jake had bread in the 1860s.
Hey, man. Come on.
I got something right here. Let me get it right quick in the book.
Yeah, Jake was disenfranchised, bro.
Oh yeah.
Now people going to hell, man.
What you got?
You got that?
It's
Yeah, you got that.
Psalm 56. This is a prayer from David. Psalm 56:1. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppresses me. My enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. In God I will praise him word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thy anger cast down the people, O God. Thou tellest my wandering. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, then shall thy enemies turn back. This I know, for God is for me. In God will I praise his words, and the Lord will I praise his words. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render praise unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Will not thou deliver my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living? So David, man, was dealing with the same stuff that we going through today. You know, he was praying to the Most High because he knew how our enemies would take crafty counsel against us.
Right.
You know, so
it's heavy, man.
This ain't nothing new. You know, and Jake walk around here like it's all free willy-nilly, like ain't nothing gonna happen. You know, and these folks is behind the scenes, man, plotting and scheming.
Right.
These boys. You saw what happened with that boy Kanye, man. That boy Kanye was cool and hard.
Boy, hey man,
but you know.
So that one where they had, look at my Negro over here, and they got Kanye up there.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh man, they got one way. That boy tap dancing, and that boy.
I was like,
got a tap dancing me. That boy tap dance like this, and that boy Trump is in the meme like.
Dang.
Golly.
Bamboos.
Yeah. See, that boy shook, man. Because really, what it is, man. He's shook, man. He probably knows, he's probably got privy to some information that this boy Trump gonna do the fool.
Yeah.
So he like, man, I'm gonna clean it up right now. I'm gonna be wearing he's wearing to make America great again.
Bro, hey man.
And this is a man, listen, I was a Kanye fan before I came into the knowledge of everything, but that dude was very conscious, so to speak, of our plight as a people.
Yeah, because they make fun of the little statement that he made to of what's his name, Bush.
Yeah.
Bush, he's like, how you doing? He's like, George Bush don't like black people. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, man.
Hey, that boy Chance was doing the same thing too. Chance the Rapper. See, you wouldn't know him because he's an industry plant. He blew up. He had a Grammy and everything.
I didn't heard of him.
Okay, Chance the Rapper is a Chicago rapper as well. But dude, to be honest, I think that some of the songs were actually done by Lil Wayne. I'll just tell you that.
That's who he sound like.
He sound like Lil Wayne, bro. If you hear that song, No Problems?
Yeah.
You know, you ever heard it? You don't want no problems with me.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
He's in that song, and Lil Wayne is actually on that song, but he sound like Lil Wayne in the verse anyway. So anyway, this dude is Chance the Rapper from Chicago, just like Kanye's from Chicago. Now, Chance the Rapper his dad is actually one of the guys that worked with Rahm Emanuel. He's one of Rahm Emanuel's guys and Rahm Emanuel's brother is the head of William & Morris Talent Agency, which represents some of the top musicians and actors. So they used that dude's son and basically helped hype him up, give him a deal. He did some mixtapes and had him linked up with all these major entertainers, from Bieber and all these guys out of nowhere.
Right.
That's just like if you all of a sudden just started. It's like imagine if your son all of a sudden he's like, Dad, man, I got a song with Justin Bieber. I got a song with Kanye.
Yeah.
I got a song with Rihanna. You're gonna be like, yeah, how did that happen? I didn't even see you grind, because his brother was in the music industry. So he knows the grind and level and the time you gotta connect and build connections to get up in the industry. If your son out of nowhere just come on,
pop up out the blue.
That's what happened with that dude. And I was telling people back then, like, yo, this dude is an industry plant. They had people on the internet that they paid to hype him up on hip hop forums. Like, oh man, Chance the Rapper, he's the next big thing. These were industry, these are people like that work for like probably CIA or something, and their thing is to go on forums and put disinformation out there or mold the mind of the people. So that dude, some of these guys are already been selected, bro. Yeah. They've been selected, and some of them have not been selected but desire that protection.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what Kanye's in, man. Kanye's like, listen, I'm gonna be right up underneath him. I'm a hype up Trump, because shoot, when time comes, Jay-Z and them or whoever or whatever celebrity might be laughing, talking trash, but on that day he probably feel like he gonna eat for a little bit.
Yep.
That dude was cooning hard, bro. That stuff was abnormal, bro.
Yeah.
That stuff was abnormal, man.
You know, they had them other little memes in there, you know, Kanye in the sunken place. On the get out. Hey man, Kim Kardashian come out and she say, when he's how did she put it? She said something like, he's not in a sunken place when he's something else.
Yeah. She said something. No, she said he's not in the sunken place because I allow him to speak his mind.
Yeah.
So how can he be in the sunken place? He is out of the sunken place because he's allowed to speak his mind of how he feels. That's not the real Kanye.
That's not the real Kanye. Hey, if you
ain't the Kanye for 2003, 2004.
Hell no, that definitely ain't, man.
That ain't the through the wire of Kanye, bro.
It's like when they pulled that prank on that boy, man. They did that Punk. Then when they had this Ashton Kutcher, he would do this show called Punk. He goes up to Kanye, had this dude play like, them my masters right there. They come to Kanye's spot.
Oh, somebody had a meme on that Joker.
Hey man,
I said, "Them my masters."
hey man, that Edomite came up in there and said, "Yeah, we coming in here to get the masters from you, man, because you know we did this work, you know, and we are coming to get." Hey, that boy Kanye was in that building, and he kind of like picked the masters up on the slide, and he was kind of walking away from him and everything. That boy jumped in the truck and burnt rubber. Hey man, that Edomite was grabbing hold to that door. Hey man, that boy fell on the ground. Kanye almost ran over that boy on film, bro. Balls falling out, man. They say, hey man, Kushner had to come out and be like, hey man, you on Pop? And then that boy had to get out. I was like, oh man. Hey boy, that stuff was funny, man. I was like, boy.
That boy Kanye, I think that boy was lobotomized.
Hey man,
that boy was lobotomized because he was about to let them secrets out, bro.
Bro, he was
when
about
he was talking about Jay, Beyonce, he's basically saying that they sold out. He said, Jay, I know you're trying to kill me, Jay. I know you got killers, Jay. I know you got killers, Jay.
Hey man,
don't kill me, Jay. Don't kill me. He was on the stage bugging out. But the dude was probably telling the truth. while you playing. You know what I'm saying?
That dude would probably tell
That dude would probably think about it. That paranoia is real, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, look at Prince. Prince was paranoid. He knew them people wanted to kill him. They was making fun of that, killing that dude on Simpsons. You think that dude wasn't paranoid?
Man, they put it on the Simpsons, bro. That's how they throw the messages at you.
Yeah.
They look at the television screen, man. The people up here looking at this stuff, and that's how they talk.
Yep.
That's how they talk. They don't have to go into a meeting room.
Yeah.
They can just they can be like, hey, this is how we gonna make this skit, and then you gonna get the message from the skit.
Yep.
This is the next agenda right here.
Yep.
So when you look at them Simpsons cartoons, man, that's like one of the main cartoon outlets for them to talk to each other, man.
Yeah.
So you gotta be kind of aware of these things, man. You know, and
Right.
pray that the mercy of the Most High be upon you, man.
Yeah, because that crafty counsel, that directing your steps,
Oh yeah.
that following your steps, that's what they do, man.
That's what they doing.
Just like
Follow
the
your
brother brought
steps.
up, man.
Yep.
This is the type of people we're dealing with, man. That's what
Change
they
your
got
mind
to do.
up, change your mind,
Yep.
give you another way to think.
Yep.
All that.
And out of fear. See, when you're in Yahawashi, it tells you, you know, to learn the love of Yahawashi to surpass all knowledge.
Right.
Yep.
That means knowledge of what you have on the spiritual side, but also knowledge of things that could happen to you.
Yeah.
When you can say, I know that these things can occur, and you could basically have that Yahawashi so much in you that you're not fearing of that.
Don't be afraid of that.
Yeah.
stuff,
Don't be
man.
afraid, yeah.
But he said, fear that now, O Jacob. You know? I mean, there's a lot of what's it called in the scripture that says, fear not. In that time, fear not, fear not, fear not, fear not. It's all through the scriptures.
Yep. Yeah.
But Psalm 91, he who abideth in the what it has to start off. Psalm 91:1. He who abideth. I get it right quick. In the shadow of the
Most High.
Hey, man.
See, those guys in the industry, they ain't got Yahawashi. So the only thing they could do is either sell out, bro.
And then
Either pull a Dave Chappelle and leave, but then they gonna bring you right back.
You're gonna get right back put into it because there's no outlet, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you leave and you come back to the place, they gonna find you and gonna make you do what you got. Man, that dude didn't want to do it no more, man.
Yep.
He was out of there. He was like, man, I don't want to do that no more, man. I'm
That
through.
dude freaking pounced, bro. That dude left the country.
And
The
then
#1 show on TV.
and he left.
That boy said, man, these guys are some demons. I'm out of here.
Out of there. Man, so he understands.
Because you know they gave him some regular deal where he ain't had to do no Faustin pact.
Yeah.
They probably gave him a little deal like, let's see what he do. Let's see if the show blows up.
Yeah,
They probably didn't make him do like a blood oath or something like that.
Right.
Get him with the next one.
Yeah, because beliefs, a lot of people say, oh, you don't. No, some people that are famous, low-level famous, they don't got to go that far.
Right.
Because when you want to get to the next level, they'll make you start doing that stupid stuff.
Right.
So doing oaths to the devil, stepping inside of a freaking 5-point star with the Baphomet on it with candles like that A$AP Rocky did. It's like A$AP Rocky, he had to do that. That's why his boy died, man. That's why his boy ended up dying after that. You know?
Oh, you can't go into that.
And then what he get? He going out with Kendall Jenner.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They threw a Kardashian at him.
Hey, what like the brother Yerumia, he put on the group chat that Eddie Griffin thing. He said, man, you can't come out this thing.
Come on, man.
You can't come out this thing without squeaky clean, man.
Bro, that was years ago, man. And man, we talk about that too.
Yeah.
You know, bro, you can go down the list. No Jake that made it big ever comes out untouched.
Yeah.
They will take that money, bro. None of them famous Jakes have ever passed down their riches down to their kids.
And don't say Michael Jackson, because them wasn't that boy kids.
Yeah, man. Hey, boy, they even playing the speed of mice like that.
And they took half the kids. And on top of that is a state that's handled by a corporation.
Yeah.
Because them kids ain't man, come on. Them kids don't care about that, man. What's her name? Princess or whatever her name is. Paris Jackson, the daughter.
These people take your stuff, man. These people are thieves, man. The scriptures talk about the enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy, man. So all the Jakes that make something of themselves, the enemy is gonna come and steal your stuff.
Yeah, well it's borrowed. Because on the money is their image and superscription.
Yep. Live and wait like a lion to devour the poor.
Yep.
That's how it is.
Exactly what they break through and steal, man.
Right.
You guys got stuff that can be taken like that.
Yeah.
That's why all them dudes be all shook, man. Will Smith be shook. You had that boy Martin Lawrence.
Oh man,
bugged out.
That boy went out in the middle of the street and hey, waving a gun, talking about they trying to kill me. Man, these people ain't. Hey man, you know what? Who was that came out there? He said, man, oh no, that was Dave Chappelle. He said, man, these people ain't all crazy, man. These people ain't all crazy.
Yeah.
He say, man, there's certain things that people just don't understand.
These guys are very strong-minded individuals.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you see them get to that breaking point, you better leave it something serious.
Yeah, it's something serious, man.
That's right.
So man, you know, so that fame and fortune in this world, man, is not what it's all cracked up to be.
That's why it goes back to, you know,
that's really right.
Being under the shadow of the Most High.
If you're famous, you don't want to be a front man.
Nah.
You don't, man.
I know it's hard to not be, but that's what you don't want to be.
You don't
You want to be like Quincy Jones, chilling with your royalties. With and chilling and hanging out with your daughters.
And then they got to the point where they talking about who's that dude? He say, man, they gonna get Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
He say this dude just coming out spilling all the beans.
Yeah, he was talking a lot of noise, bro.
Man, he really pushing some stuff out of there about people, man, that they saying, okay, this guy's telling secrets that he shouldn't be telling. He say they probably done kind of like that dude Matt Dillon. He was up there, you know, on that 60 Minutes show. He was like he made a deal with the man upstairs, he called it, which is you know, he ain't talking about the Most High, definitely.
Yeah.
He made a deal with him, and then he said that he had to keep up his end of the bargain. And so this dude had all these #1 hits throughout his, man, this dude is on his deathbed, man, and still going to concerts, selling out and everything. He's like, man, how that happen? You know, this dude that's old, man, he barely can sing no more and still selling out concerts. Hey man, dude, you don't wanna be in that predicament, bro. And that's what Jake
yeah, that's what Jake is trying to obtain though, huh?
Look at this guy here, man.
Jake is hungering for fame.
This Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. So when you dwell in that secret place of the Most High, man, which is in His word, His statutes, His laws, His commandment, you know, you won't have to worry about all that stuff, man. Trying to get attacked by the devil, man.
Yeah.
I mean, attack's gonna come, but you're gonna always prevail.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right, that's right.
You're gonna always prevail, man.
That's that secret, man, the secret place of Yahweh, man, that you know, and apply those fruits of the spirit, man. Those are detrimental, man. Just like that Zephaniah said, you know, in that meekness, that you may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
Yep, I got one right here. Isaiah 59:19. So they shall fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and the glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. That word for lift up is the word nawas, which means to take flight.
That's right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The boys gonna, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna be plotting and scheming, trying to get their agenda through, but the Most High ain't gonna let it happen.
The Most High gonna lift them out.
He gonna shut that down.
Yep. Yeah. And they know, man, that's the reason why they have to do the crafty counsel, because Esau really, see, the elites understand that they have to have us in captivity for a certain period of time. Man.
Right.
So they can't come outright and just try and kill us all. They got to do it through crafty counsel. They got to create situations where we will kill each other. Yeah. Because if he's laying the stroke himself on a regular basis, you know, it's going to kick off things quicker. Really, you're going to bring the realization to our people that they are in captivity, those that are blind.
Right.
And they're going to be like, damn, we get killed and mowed down by the hundreds every day.
Yeah.
We got to get together. We got to start. Then when guys start coming up and saying, man, this is the reason why we're going through this, they're going to be more apt to listen.
Yeah.
Most I don't want it like that.
And see, and they've been, man, and truth be told, man, Esau been doing this from the inception since slavery, man.
Yep.
That's right.
It's just the only thing is that we're in the end times, and so with the invention of the computer and the internet age, it brought it to our light. So all these jakes, man, have been mowed down in the past when there was no technology and things of that nature. They just would just get mowed down without.
Yeah. It was when news was broke, when you had news of a shooting of someone unarmed in freaking St. Louis in the 80s, you didn't hear that down here.
Yeah,
you got local Houston news.
Right.
Unless it was national news, that's not considered national news. A cop gunning down an incident in Jake. And the nightmares in these cities, man, back in the 80s and 90s, and bro, man.
Yeah, shoot, just
man, they can't imagine how many
60s and 50s, man. They was getting
50s, 60s. Go back to the Watts riots.
Yeah, man, they was getting mowed down, man. Look, dude, you go all the way back to the time of Tulsa, Oklahoma, man.
Yep.
Look at that.
The 19s, the 30s, the Great Depression.
Man, they
straight lynchings.
Mowed down thousands at a time, man.
Yeah.
And that thing was orchestrated with sheriffs, man.
Yep.
The sheriffs was involved into it. So you looking at a situation where the sheriffs are involved, man, all the law enforcement.
Yeah, Tariq be saying, I don't know if you ever be watching, man. Y'all got to watch some of this stuff. Yeah, time every he be having some solid pieces. He be going off.
Yeah.
Information, some of the information be going to be on point.
Yeah.
But one of the things he says that I disagree with, he will say he'll say the white supremacists have infiltrated law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the Edomite supremacists started law enforcement. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You can't infiltrate something you created.
Yeah.
That's like you create the organization and saying that you infiltrated.
Oh, look at Wyatt.
See how Esau just lose the N-word like it ain't nothing.
Wyatt Earp, yeah, that's you.
You should have seen him in the front. He had that little thing on his on the front.
Listen to how many niggas she done called it.
Yeah.
You ain't hear?
She probably from
She done called that boy the N-word about 30 times just now.
I could believe that. Because a lot of times she be mumbling, I be feeling like the word be coming out.
Me and I was sitting in the truck, we were listening to her call it.
She said it again.
Hey, cause I was messing with him, say, hey, I'm gonna push you over here to your husband.
And she need to just be right here.
She say nigga like one of them professional
Haters. She got that hate up in her heart, man.
Yeah, she just
flow off the tongue.
She gonna say it to the wrong Jake, he gonna freaking drop it.
With that little young girl. He's taking pictures, but you can see how he was on one with the glasses in the back. But he was all up on the girl trying to.
On a young chick?
Yeah, look leaning on the pole when we taking pictures of.
Is it a young girl?
Yeah.
Probably.
But he was up on her trying to put her in position, but he was like a little too. You know, you ain't gotta really touch. You just gotta be like, put your.
You know what's so?
Man,
did y'all see that picture with Cosby on it? And it say, okay, Cosby found guilty from these women, but then it had Weinstein, it had all these other dudes who had
sexual stuff.
Nothing.
Not even a trial.
Not even a trial, man.
Like boy, what's his name? Woody, he be directing here, acting too.
Harrelson?
No, the one that married his daughter.
Yeah.
With the glasses?
Yeah, the adopted Asian girl.
Woody, it ain't Woody Harrelson?
No, not Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's the one that used to be,
oh, that's the younger one. This dude is the older one.
Woody something.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, yeah. This boy married his adopted daughter.
Yep.
Raised up in the home and waited till she got 18 and then went out for marriage.
You raising up a kid from what's it called? That's your daughter. You're gonna look at the most. I mean, your mind should be transforming to where that's like your daughter, bro.
But he had been messing with
girl ain't even blood relatives, and I would never date.
You know, he been messing with the little girl since she was young, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they'll say
you know that. Yeah, you know that stuff been going on, bro, for years, man.
Man, that stuff is crazy, man.
Don't forget. What about the dude from X-Men, Bryan Singer? He was raping all them boys.
Man, Bryan Singer, who is that?
Well, he's a director. He's the one that directed the X-Men movies. He was having them parties. They would have the parties in them Hollywood mansions,
and he'd get inviting them.
Yeah, he'd be getting drunk and inviting them little boys. In fact, they had a documentary. I actually have it on my computer too. Yeah. Because it's a documentary that was made independently, but it didn't really go out. You had to actually find it and download it. And I found the documentary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got it, and it basically it's ridiculous. These dudes be luring these young boys over, like all these like Macaulay Culkin age, like child actors, and then they'd be like, hey, come to this party. And then they'll have drivers come and pick them up, and these boys will be getting drunk, they'd be cool with them, and they
been and drugged the little boy.
You see how Macaulay Culkin look now?
Bugged out, man.
Boy, that boy look like a man.
Look like the white Jesus on crack, man.
That boy
through, boy.
That boy's done.
Man, look.
He used to be with Mila Kunis too.
Y'all remember that time? Y'all remember that video where that brother came out there talking about Jace too? He's like, man, look, they send y'all to these parties, they put stuff in y'all drinks.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, your butt hurt.
Ooh.
I was like, man, and then they filming the stuff, so then they got you locked into the game because they like
got something over your head. Oh, you don't want to do this?
We got you.
Got this here tape on you.
Woo, bruh, that's cold in the game, bruh. Man, you don't want to be part of no kind of wickedness like that, man. Hey, man, you want to follow these.
That's like the same type. That's the same type of stuff that's going on with Bill, man.
Yep.
Them women that they so-called Bill, so-called rape. That's all set up from the beginning.
Come on.
Just like we were just saying, that stuff that they have over their head.
Man,
and it's coming back to bite Bill from 30 years ago.
Really what it was them girls, I mean, the fact that they saying it happened 30, 40, 50 years ago, you ain't got no DNA evidence.
No DNA.
They were lying so much that
Teresa,
one of them said that he was in LA and they got video of him doing Saturday Night Live in New York.
Through. Man,
you heard about that one?
Man, yeah, because that was, Tariq was talking about that on the day. I was going to put that little clip on there. He said, man, these people have been found lying. And then they say that one of the jurors had already said, man, I'm already voting guilty of it.
And one of the women looked like she a rape Bill, not Bill rape her.
You seen it? Like Sideshow Bob.
Oh my
God.
That was an ugly creature.
That was a dude.
And she looked like she bisexual, like she's a lesbian.
Bro, Bill would not touch that, man.
Yeah, man. Them people, man, Jake ain't got nothing. Jake,
you basically had to pay the price for some form. They probably made an example out of him for trying to buy NBC years back.
Yeah. No, that's what it's based on.
He's an uppity Negro. You got to put him in his place. And on top of that, see, by them attacking him. And listen, you got to think about this for a second. This man was found guilty with no evidence.
None.
No DNA, no video, but just a whole bunch of women saying that he did it.
You know they're going to go in for an appeal and everything.
Then you got Janice Dixon in there. She's a damn drug addict. Everybody in Hollywood knows that she's a drug addict, man.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
She was trying to get them coins, man. You had all the women orchestrate that stuff. They trying to fake cry in the court. And you know what? One of the women that was crying, she wasn't even one of the accusers. She's a crisis actor.
Yeah.
She actually accused somebody else in Hollywood of the same thing years back.
Now let's just say they, I don't know how this court thing is gonna go. If they're gonna appeal and do other trials or whatever. But let's just say he get off scot-free later on or whatever. They already got the stain on his name, man.
Yeah.
They
well, guess what? They took away the reruns.
They took away the reruns.
The Cosby Show is no longer being any reruns, which now means all the people.
We ain't gonna put you on now. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna let you do what you do.
I do what I do.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You know that's a sin tattoo on your body. You know that's a sin tattoo on your body, right?
Lost mine.
Okay. Alright. I hear that.
You guys have any association with the brothers down there?
Nope.
No way.
Nope.
These are my brothers. These are my brothers.
Non-military. You're non-military. You're not mad. You don't seem mad back there.
No, bro. We all got smiles on our faces.
The star doesn't mean that we all are on the same team. I'm learning, man. You know what I mean? Like, calm it down, man.
Yeah.
Whoa, why are y'all so mad? Hey,
You just came from down there?
I have some white in me. Is that okay?
Hey, you just came from down there?
Yeah.
Oh, did you talk to him?
Man, I see them guys every week, man. I seen you guys about 8 months ago, and I confused it with them, and I've been looking for you guys ever since.
Yeah, we've been here.
Yeah, we've been over here, man.
You have a brochure or something?
Sure do.
Man, we got
cards,
cards.
man.
You got cards?
Cards.
Yeah, no, we ain't no association, man.
So you all publicating the same, this right here, this portion.
Yeah, well, that's part of prophecy, but this is for the Western side of the world. This is. This goes back to Genesis 49 and Deuteronomy 33. It just basically, there were prophecies that were going to happen in the last days, and to each tribe. And then when you go through, in fact, there's books written by the people that conquered the Americas. In their own books, they said these things. They said that when they talked to the natives of the Americas, when they talked to certain groups of people on the islands and the natives of Mexico, like the Aztecs and the Mayans, they said that their forefathers were from some of these particular tribes. In fact, I got a couple of the books. Let me give you that. So This doesn't mean that if you're not on the classified as on the right side of this, that you're not an Israelite, because we're looking for the household of faith, which the only people that can believe in the gospel, the true gospel, is going to be the ones that are going to be of the scattered Israelites, and it has nothing to do with how you look. It has
what's funny is
the what's called
the Caucasian side of my family has all legitimate Jewish bloodline, and they don't partake in none of it. They all claim Catholicism. I'm like, I'm the only Jew in the family?
Basically that's what happens.
That's what happens.
You end up you end up realizing that you're the real Jew in the family.
I think y'all should read the Bible. Tell them.
Well, see, this is what's happening is that the Bible is being rejected by those that conquered the world. So the descendants of those children that conquered the world, they're rejecting it. We're the ones, our people, that are embracing it and taking it to another level, because that's how the Lord has set it up.
How I knew to embrace this was I was incarcerated in the county jail. My wife had stolen my children from me, and she had set some things in order to trick me up very, very nicely. She had done it very well. I pretty much teamed up with my ex-current girlfriend and piss him off enough to where, all right, call the cops on him, good, all right, he's in jail, all right, take the kids, run. And I could say this is all, in my mind, but a lawyer told me, you're a fool. Here, subpoena text messages. And so, sitting there in the county jail, writing her a letter, telling her, hey, they're trying to give me some years for this, you need to tell them this is a lie. They said I violated the no contact order, and the only way that they could monitor my mail was to put me in, say, 23-hour lockdown for 8 months. And the only thing that I had in there was, so at 16 I had a college level reading comprehension level, and even at that I read it from front to back like a novel, and it still took me 7 months to comprehend it. I finished it 2 weeks before they released me and sent me to prison. And so when I read that in there, I said, well, he said that his people would be from that Star of David, from that bloodline. That's what he said. He said he would come from that star, and it'd be a bloodline from that star.
No, the star.
Correct?
Well, let's do this. Get Numbers chapter 23.
Yeah, we can go into that.
We can go into that. Get Numbers 23, and you know what I want.
Numbers 23?
Yeah, you know what talking about the star, she'll come out of Jacob and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into this,
Yeah.
It's good that you came up.
I can't spend too much time on it because I got somebody waiting for me right now. But I was actually headed to go to Subway to get something to eat real quick. But
You're right around the corner. You can wait a little bit.
yeah, I can wait definitely.
Yeah, you're right around the corner. I don't remember the exact verse, but it's in Numbers 23. It might be 24.
Yeah, it might be on 24 because I ain't see it.
Oh no. So destroy the children of Sheth. Where is it?
Yeah, I don't see that in there.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
A star shall come out of chicken there. I don't see that.
Because I know what he's talking about.
I think I
The star shall come out of Jacob and destroy the sons of Sheth.
Yep.
Because that's the one you're talking about. Okay. And this is might be 24. Yeah, it's 24 because it's going into the different nations.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, right here. It's 24 and 17.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got it. This is Numbers chapter 24 and 17.
Yeah.
And I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. Now that star is talking about the Savior of the elect of Israel. He's not talking about an actual symbol. A symbol can't deliver you.
Yeah.
A symbol can't deliver you. When you go into ancient worships and idolatry, they had two primary types of stars in the ancient world that are even around today. You even see them in Karbala. Come on.
Yeah.
The 5 and the 6 point star. Now, are you familiar with gang banging people, folk nation? Are you familiar with the Midwest?
Disgust me. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Okay. You know about GD, BD, all that stuff, right? Now, what do they wear? What's on their symbols?
And I get asked about it all the time, and I say, look, there's a cross in there, man. I'm not affiliated.
Yeah. So that 6 point star goes back to the star of Molech and Remphan. In fact,
And then what was that? What was that started Matthew 2 and 2? Because see that's what this brother's talking about right there when they talk about they have seen the star. Talking about not a physical star, what the brother was talking about there, but wasn't that a prophecy for Matthew 2 and 2? It says, now when Yahawashi was born in Bethlehem of Judah in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. So they
see speaking figuratively?
Yes.
Well, the star, well, they didn't have words like planes or UFOs back then.
Yeah. So that's
so back then, an object that was in the sky that lit up was called the star. They didn't have words for planes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when he comes, they you know, he come up with clouds.
Yeah, we come up with clouds.
So he's gonna come with an actual cloud like this. That's a figure of speech.
Right.
Meaning that he's gonna come in UFOs.
Smoke.
Yeah, because it's
like Independence Day.
See, like right here. This is.
Yeah. I just typed in Star of Remphan. This is an idol that was worshipped 3,000 years ago. Star of Remphan.
Got that in Acts
Can you get it?
43.
Yeah, go ahead and get it.
All right.
I just typed in Star of Remphan. I'm gonna show you other images. Go ahead.
I got it right quick. Let me get that.
And it tells you
I
Molech,
think it was 7 and 4.
Shuin, Remphan. This is a 6 point star. This is an ancient worship, and that's how they worship. That the 6 point star. And the Baphomet was the 5 point star. Okay. The Baphomet is the 5 point star.
Okay.
So these were some of the acts of worship. That's the reason why gangs.
Was it the same thing, or was it?
No, it's the same. This is what our people, we worship this. This is what the heathen around us did. The heathen around us, they drew these stars to represent their gods. This is how they summoned their gods, was through putting candles on the 6 points and calling upon that name. And then the demon, they'll basically, do demonic things, do child sacrifices and things like that. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is Acts chapter 7, verse 42. Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. As it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Molech and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away from Babylon.
So that's Remphan, yeah.
See that? That's I think in Canada. I want to say this is on the MTV building.
Yeah.
MTV building in Canada, their headquarters.
I heard something like that.
It's on their headquarters. This right here, I believe it's on their headquarters.
Hold on, let me see that.
Hey, everybody knows MTV pushes nothing but demonic activity. Viacom.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things when once you come into the knowledge of it, we know better, we do better type thing.
That's what I say. I mean, it's like, because we see you got a zeal for the Most High, man. So, just because you're wearing that on your wrist, that don't make you,
Lesson never stops.
Right,
yeah,
that's right.
It never stops.
Yeah. And just to kind of go into what the brother was talking about when he said that there were no UFOs known about, they didn't have the word UFO or plane back in those times.
Right.
And so what he was talking about was how the Most High, up in this, well, I'm gonna just bring the scripture.
That's how we're gonna be delivered out this place.
Yeah. So this is Psalms 104 and 3. It says, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." So what we will see is so-called UFOs. That's what we term them. They didn't have that terminology back then. And so like how this brother has experience and he done seen things before.
Yeah, I done seen, and it happened the day that Robin Williams died. I was driving on 59, going north, right near 59 in Fondue. This is during the daytime, like around this time of the day. And it happened to be raining, but it wasn't like dark. It was raining, and right about, probably about 500 feet above the freeway, there was a big old UFO.
In cloud. What was it? It just appeared from
It materialized. Like, you know how you see like a big storm cloud? And then out of it, it materialized. And everybody saw it, and it was so obvious that they
it was on the news. It was on the news.
They reported on on the news.
But they tried to play it off like nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Like, well, there was reports of a UFO sighting in Houston today.
Yeah.
And they were talking to people, and it was obvious.
Yeah.
And see, the thing about it is the NASA. The reason why NASA's around, the International Space Station, is to monitor those vehicles that are coming back and forth that are they're militarizing from another dimension. So they just pop out from another dimension and come into the Earth and then go back.
What do you think about that obelisk at the bottom of the ocean? That triangle? Do you think that?
Well, they had societies back then, but they were destroyed.
It's giving off energy though. The Baltic Sea anomaly.
The obelisk goes back to Egypt.
Do you know about the Baltic Sea anomaly?
I don't know about that.
Okay, so in the Baltic Sea, there's this. It's shaped like a disc. It's huge, but it has like stair formations on it. It's rock, but when we go near it, all of our electrical stuff just shuts down.
Okay.
It's in the Baltic Sea. This isn't a theory. We got pictures of it. Google it.
Well, one of the things.
X-ray like of it, and it's like.
Yeah, like one of the things you find out on the man, people don't know. These people claim that they scoured the earth or whatever. Man, there's places on this planet they haven't touched.
Ocean that you haven't.
They can't search out this place.
The parts of the Earth have energy points. Right. Even the elites understand that. They have energy grids. That's the reason why you have. If you look at like Washington D.C. and where it's built and where like the Bohemian Grove is, they actually put them on certain areas of the Earth because they have a certain energy based on like tectonic plates and gravitational pull and electromagnetic forces. And there's also points on the Earth in which they feel they can also access other dimensions and spirits and things like that.
You ever heard of that dude Edward Lewinsky of the Coral Castle?
No.
Well, he did this thing where he was lifting these heavy rocks.
Oh, I did see that.
That's on an energy grid. In that area, he was on a grid. You know, like if you look at
it's like a giant boulder, and he's just like
he's like holding it. And it was a kid that actually saw him do it. Like eyewitnesses or whatever that said they saw him lifting these heavy boulders or whatever. But it's in an area where it's a grid. Like if you there's this book. It's called The Energy Grid, and it has the whole globe. And on each square, you have points on the square, right? And each point was an energy point on the planet. And so when you go in through those energy points, you see certain areas that are built, like over there in Mexico, you have those pyramids in Mexico, you have the Giza pyramids, they're all on those grids.
They all line up.
They all line up, yeah. So you look at, it's something to that, you know? You know, it's the reason why.
On to something.
Yeah, they all on that. So you know the science that the ancients had is way far more advanced than what we see or experience today, man.
Right.
You know they're talking about back in 1933 when they went into the Egyptian pyramids. They opened up a freaking metal door inside of the pyramids.
I seen that.
Dude comes in, man. Hey man, it's all kind of stuff they have.
Seen that.
Yeah, ultimately that stuff is all cool to talk about, but you know,
it doesn't. You know,
well, how does it change your faith?
Yeah, there you go. It's just information. It's just information, and you say if somebody comes to you and say, "Oh, we're the most advanced technology," okay, well, explain this.
Right.
But then your main thing is gonna come through faith in Yahawashi and doing these commandments.
Right. That's right.
You know, that's
what a lot of this book is gonna supersede any knowledge that's on this earth, man. This knowledge of this Bible, it supersedes any knowledge. College education, all that.
Yeah, because us as men, we have received more lies than any group of people on the planet.
Right.
The men of our nation, right, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're the brunt of the lies on the planet.
Yep.
Everything we're told to be and who we're not, and everything we are, everything that I am is not what we are. It's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. They
change our identity every 20 years.
I know, right?
You know, in the next census, they're about to change our identity in 2020.
Yep.
If we get to 2020, they're gonna be more categories.
Yep.
In fact, the new census has more categories.
They want to keep us in the not knowing. Man.
So every 20 years we change from, you know, one thing to another.
Yeah.
And you know, when it comes down to like the aspect of, you know, I know as far as like the whole racial aspect, you know, one thing with this is that in this walk of ours, you can't be concerned about everybody else. You got to be concerned about your salvation first.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's right.
You got family members or people that maybe might not be a part of this. Listen, we don't care whether or not our mothers or whatever are from Mars.
Who is that mother? Who is that brother?
Come on, bro.
There you go. You already know.
So I know that's one of the hard aspects of it is from that perspective. It's like, man, I got people I grew up with. I got family that's so and so. Well, at the end of the day, it's like this. We have no problem with them trying to believe in this, but will they believe?
Right, right.
We have no control over that. So if they're not even part of if they're not even part of the bloodline of Jacob, they're never going to believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's impossible. The faith is only given unto the household of Jacob, and that's only a small subset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it tells you that they are the household of faith. The same are the children of Abraham.
Yep.
Because Abraham had faith in his true seed that was holy is going to believe.
Right.
You can have you could be a quintuple.
Be a Gentile.
You could be a quintuple. You might be the only one of your 5 brothers that believe. All y'all 5 look the same. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That,
And you be the only, same DNA, same everything.
Yeah, the selection is based on faith.
It's based on
You have no control over whether you're going to believe or not. If you're going to believe, you're going to be drawn in.
You got me. I found my group.
Yeah. We here every Saturday around 2 o'clock, 2:30. We're right here. In that, we got an email. Feel free to email. We got a YouTube page. Hopefully he comes back. He said he comes around, so we can get him on that.
Hey man, you know what, man? It's amazing, man, how many Jakes, man, fell victim to these. That's a shame, bro. I mean, look. I'm pretty sure the brother had a job. He was handling his business.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. His woman called the cops on him. He out of there.
Yeah, man. That's a shame, bro.
You know, a lot of them women like, stay away from them white women. You know, I'm like, listen. There's women of all shades and all nations that's throwing our men in jail. They're the first ones to call the cops.
Yeah, it don't matter.
That boy that lost his kids off of you know, they had that conflict. Man, she got that power. Call the cops. Lose your kids. You in jail. You in solitary confinement for 8 months, like he was.
That's horrible, bro.
Yeah, and then when you go to court, you lost custody of your kids when you came back out. Then you got to pay child support. Whole world turned upside down like that. She's about to go get her Section 8 voucher. About to get her food stamps. About to be, you know,
whoa, man.
living it up, and you're gonna be sitting there struggling on the street like this dude.
Man, that's cold, man. You know, Jake got it bad on all that English, man.
Yep.
It's like, you know, hey, man, but hey, man, you know, the mercy may be, pray for the mercy be granted on him. He come through and, you know, start.
Yeah, see what happened with them. He went down there and he said, them boys is angry.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for everything.
Because see, you know, it's one of the things that I know me and I was talking about. Is, you know, when we coming out here and we up here relaying these words, man, you coming in the way that Yahawashi came, man. You know, brothers always like to say, oh well, he's an austere man. He's austere, stating that he's austere all times. Like I'm serious on.
Yeah.
And nigga, what?
Yeah.
You know,
looking like a pit bull.
Hey, like
mad dog.
Like your boy on Power.
Yeah.
Hey, what's his name? The main dude on Power. When he got that look, he was like, you know, ghost. Like he just serious all the time or something, man. Man, we was talking when we first started off. We was talking about Yahawashi and his mannerism, man. He was a meek man. He was humble.
He had multiple sides of him.
He had multiple sides. Now he knew. Now this is not to say because
he was serious and strict, meaning that he didn't play no games.
And it had to be when the time was. So when it was a time to be a certain time away, hey, I'm gonna be gentle to my brothers. But then when there was a time when the brothers was going off, he said, man, how long I'm gonna be with you cats? And y'all gonna continue doing this?
Why is it that you have no faith?
Yeah. Peter jump out on the water. He walking on water. Then the wind started blowing. He was like, he started sinking. Lord, save me. Ye with so little faith, man.
Yeah, one forest is got doubt.
But that's a lesson in itself, man. Not letting. I'm gonna tell you, when you look at that example of him being in that water, that's an example of having faith and not having anything distract you from your faith.
Right.
Because he was distracted from his faith and he started to sink. Yeah. So now when you
started having fear incident,
and see, and that's one of the key aspects, man. When you walk in this walk, man, like he say, fear not, O Jacob. You know, and when things outside, external factors come into the place, stay focused on Yahawashi. Because see, as long as he was looking at him, he was walking on water. But the minute he took his eyes off of Yahawashi and started paying attention to the storm, he started sinking, man, and fear fell in. Because now he's like, man, I'm finna die. But yeah, if you put your eyes right back on him, you come right back up. He grabbed him by the hand and he pulled him up. Yep. So, you know, when you're looking at that faith, man, you know, it's an important aspect of this walk, man.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that brother there, man, he has a zeal, man. Hopefully he come back around, man.
Yeah.
We're going to segue them, that boy right into them, into that red letter, that boy about to...
Hey, that red letter, hey, he get dipped in that water.
That red letter about to take over his mind, like, man.
Hey, man, that rim frame kind of touched him, though, man.
Oh, I showed that picture. That picture's dead. But when you show that picture, bro,
and then when
I make you say, damn.
And then I put that scripture out, man. That just, see, man, that's what's so cool about the scriptures, man. You hit them with the scriptures, then you got history to back it up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, bro. The thing said Molech, Turin, and Remphan when I put it in the Bing search.
Make you think about these boys that's in the truth on the block preaching and be wearing that star on their garment.
Right.
This is trying to say it's the lily now.
You got to know.
Oh, nah, bro.
I saw that,
bro.
Like,
nah, you know what it is.
You know what that is.
I brought up the gang thing. He said, I'm from Pittsburgh. He said, I know what that 6-point and 5-point star is synonymous with gangbanging.
Right.
That goes back to the abortion.
Gangbangers and asked them about it.
That's why gangbangers, when they get in, they got to do a blood sacrifice. Usually, that's why they call it blood in, blood out. Right.
Usually,
you got to put in work and probably kill somebody, or you got to shed blood by being jumped in and beaten. So you got to basically have some kind of a spilling of blood.
Right.
A lot of times. Cutting up the flesh, which people get through getting beaten.
And you know, boy, we need a serious outpouring of the Holy Spirit on our people.
I'm telling you, man.
Man, we got to pray that Holy Spirit be upon us and at all times, man, because it's kind of like, man, it's rough, bro. When you see our people out here, bro, we need an outpouring to come through, man.
Yeah, man.
Cause you know we can't continue down this road 20 more years, bro.
Oh no, it's not happening. Bro, the social engineering project is finito. It's finished.
That's why the scriptures say that, you know, he had to shorten the time for the elect's sake, man. Because man, if we go 20 more years like this, man, Israel be through, bro.
Yeah.
It'd be through.
Yeah, Israel be done. Because the young kids that's right now, that's already been indoctrinated to a lower level of degeneracy, cannot become adults, raising what the hell kind of kids are they gonna raise?
And you, and you can see what Esau, the way that Esau is doing. Yeah. See, Esau does projections, man. He's like, well, in 2042, we're gonna have this. Nah, man, nah. And see, most Jakes will bite up on that stuff too. They were like, well, in 2042 they said this. Now, man, you listening to what your oppressors say. Gonna go according to these scriptures by faith.
You better hope we don't be here till 2042.
Yeah, you better hope that because shoot, if there was a 2042 and Esau, hey, you ain't here. You are not in the equation.
Yeah. If 2042 come, you're already eliminated if Yahawashi ain't here.
Yeah, man, you done, man.
Because you already can see it, man. You can already see that the trajectory of our people and what's one of the top places. It's probably. Yeah,
right across the street.
Oh, you're going to I guess a graduation or something.
Yeah, the state of our people is to the point where they have to be they're in a point of either death or deliverance.
Yeah, man.
It's the state we're in at this point. See, that's the reason why we know that the time is coming to an end, because you can see that our people are pretty much have been destroyed beyond repair. You know what I'm saying? We've been destroyed beyond repair, and the only repair that's going to happen is us getting the kingdom.
Yep, that's the only repair.
That's the only thing. Because at this point, our people are done, man.
Gotta wait till Yahawashi to restore us, man.
That's why there is no talk about let's go build another Tulsa, Oklahoma, or another new Renaissance.
Because it can.
That's out of your dang mind, man. You saw it and already showed you how he get down with it when we were prospering even just a little bit.
And don't let Jake be in a group of successful people, man. If you think Tulsa, Oklahoma was something, man, do it in 2018 and see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't gonna be no what you call.
I think Jake they're gonna hit him with tax evasion, hit him with all kinds of stupid stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. Because man, this place ain't nothing but a freaking bank, man. For you to take whatever labor you give into this force.
Yeah.
They just taking you giving them your labor for free. And well, no, let me rephrase that. They stealing your labor. Yep. You ain't giving it to you. Giving it to them. They stealing your labor. That's what they doing.
Yep. They know exactly what they're doing, man. And we're as a people, I don't see how you can talk too much about it, some kind of a great future. There is no future here, man.
No, it's not, man.
There is no future, man. Your future, anything you do, you plan on a short-term basis. You start talking about 10 years from now, boy.
Your mind ain't right.
I can't even 10 years. I can't even think about 10 years from now. That stuff is not even in my mentality.
I can't even go 5 years.
Yeah, I can't even go 5 years ahead of my mind about life.
Nah.
And especially with what they doing right now, man, I'm up here seeing people that's kind of, close to the family just dropping like flies, bro.
Yep.
Boom. You up here making a 5-year projection. You don't know if tomorrow's granted to you, bro.
Exactly. So worry about today, the things about today for anything more is for the evil thereof or something like that.
Yep. You got to just worry about your, hey, day to day, man. Go day to day with it, bro, because we don't know what's in store.
Yeah, these people got guys, these groups on lists, man. They're already rashing up the paperwork. See, Esau puts legislation just like in the book of Maccabees. They showed you how the Romans did. How they had to put everything in decrees and writing.
Right.
Before they did it. So they're doing that stuff that the southern part of the law center was controlled by some Edomites, telling everybody else who is the hate group. But then when I went on there, I did not see the United States government. If the first number one hate group should have put on there was the United States government.
That's right.
They said that we're 3/5 of a man. That's hate.
That's right.
They said that they're not bound to respect any rights. There's no law that we're bound to respect of a so-called classified black man.
They came in and moved out a whole nation of people out their land.
Come on, broke every treaty.
That's right.
Broke every treaty.
And our forefathers and ancestors and brethren have been slaughtered in America with no retribution, no justice.
These people came up. These people that doggone Iroquois Confederation, man. All those 5 tribes that came together to form that, man. Made an agreement with these jokers, and what they do every single time, broke. And these wasn't no Rudy Poop so-called Native Americans, man. I mean, these were highly intellectual people, man, according to history. But then they got duped out of everything, man. They got duped. Because they always like to portray, all our people as ignorant savages and all these things, and not understanding.
I don't know who's more of a savage than an Edomite.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's a savage. If there's a definition of the word savage, criminal, okay, hater.
Yeah, that's the most.
That's Esau all over it, man. He's the epitome of that.
Yep.
There's no one greater, man. And they know it. That's why they're running away from that Bible now, man. And now the rightful people are wielding it. They're realizing that they got to let it go.
Yep.
You can't be saying that y'all the Christians of the world going around the whole world doing nothing but murder and
wickedness, man.
I done told y'all, brothers, man. Try it. Go look up any single last country, remote island on the planet. I don't give a damn how small it is, man. Esau conquered.
Yeah, he conquered it all, bro.
He conquered it and slaughtered
debts.
Yeah.
Brought sin. Just brought homosexuality, everything to the place, man.
Yeah.
Exactly what they do.
That's the whole thing, man.
Yeah, that's right. Huh? I can't hear you, brother.
When that dog on the train. Well,
I just couldn't hear you, that train.
See, man, y'all may got that Bible, but y'all don't have partial truth. Because you already have partial truth, I know what y'all need, man, because at the same time, you don't know what y'all gonna do in the dark, man.
Right. All right.
what did he say?
I have no idea, but he walking around with a idol on his neck.
Yeah.
And wonder why he in the condition he in right now.
Yeah, that's part of
That's what we were just talking about, man.
Yeah.
Our people so far gone. It's ridiculous, man.
All I heard him say was partial.
But Jake will tell you,
Say we holding this Bible and only got partial
the highest
truth.
educational achievement
Well,
of all time.
well-
you got more home buyers, you got more people in politics.
Okay,
That's what Jake will tell you.
So when he say we holding the Bible, we only have partial truth. Well, in the scriptures it even say we only know in part.
That's right.
Hey, cause that's what was given to us, man.
We know
We
why
prophet-
Jake
we
in the
prophesy.
condition he in, though, according to this Bible. We know
Yeah.
that.
But that's spelled out many times.
Right.
You don't see it. You could go through so many why we're in the condition we're in. Esau didn't want to let us know what we know.
Yeah,
We told him it's fake. We told him, hey, listen, man, your time's coming to an end, man.
yeah, man.
They talking about one that exodus of Edomite Christians, why they leave the
Black
church. I said, why wouldn't the Edomite Christian leave the church, man? He done went on YouTube and seen a video that said it's not for him. Now,
Oh, yeah, cause you talking about that video you put out for the mass exodus from?
No, they have another one on the Christian Broadcast Network. I want to say it was on CBN or one of them. They had a YouTube thing where they were basically talking about how the amount of Edomite Christians is decreasing.
Yeah.
How it's decreased significantly since the beginning of the century, of the 20th century.
Cause they don't have faith, man.
Yeah.
Because they're not built to have faith.
Yeah.
And this place just increasing, though, in wickedness, man. And it's drawing folks up out them churches, you know?
Yeah.
Even though they really ain't getting the truth in the church, but it's still drawing them out of there.
And man,
They ain't got time to go do none of that stuff but that wickedness. They ain't got time to go sit in church get lied to.
Yeah.
I was listening to that boy, Pastor Jennings, man. You know, he's talking about T.D. Jakes being a false prophet and everything. So I go in there, false teacher, whatever you call him, false. So I went there, I started listening to some of T.D. Jakes stuff, man. T.D. Jakes was in there pushing one world or unified, the same rhetoric that all these people are pushing, man. Unification on all levels or whatever. Man, when you start to get into this truth, man, and you listen to these people, man, now you can see that most of these people that go attend the church, they are blind to the understanding of what the Bible is saying. But when you have that truth and you start to hear these guys teach, man, it's just like lie coming out every boom, lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. And it becomes disgusting to you. And then it comes to the point where you just can't even listen to this guy no more. But back in the day when you didn't have truth, you would think he was the greatest orator out there. Just like, man, look at how his guy's delivering. Man, this guy's on point type thing. Look how he's hitting it. But man, when this truth comes in, man, you can weed out that foolishness, bro.
Yeah, you got the discernment to say, man, these guys.
That guy's through, man. And see, he's more on, he's taking the stance of a self-help instead of if you listen to the way he teaches, it's more self-help. Talking about you have to go into you. You can find it and go inside.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, okay, now
that goes back to like the stuff like The Secret.
Yeah, you're going into the secret
books.
Bruh. And you know, and if you are dealing with people like Oprah Winfrey, that's the type of stuff that you do.
Oh yeah.
You go into the secret type stuff. So now you see how he's adopted that philosophy or whatever that these stars or whatever, where he is a so-called star in the Christian community or whatever. But man, you can just pull out the lies and hypocrisy of these guys, man, when they teach. And Jennings, he sees that aspect, but see, Jennings be going out too.
Oh yeah.
And Jennings be up there talking that stuff.
You know, Jennings talking about eat pork.
Yeah, he talking about eat pork and everything, man.
Wicked flattery with their tongue.
That boy there.
We got 4 minutes.
Oh shoot.
Dang.
Oh, we got 4 minutes.
I just know.
Matthew 26. Let's see. Matthew 26. This is Matthew 26 and 6. Now when Yahawashi was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahawashi understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? for she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her. With that, we like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the brothers and sisters waiting on the deliverance of our Lord and Savior, Yahawashi. Shalom.
Shalom.